wanted to start this course off with a lesson in how your mind works. Because if you can understand the fundamental principles of how your mind works, how you work, then everything else will become accessible to you. Everything that you believed previously to be impossible will become possible. What you're experiencing right now is your own consciousness. You're experiencing your mind interfacing with everything around you. And so your mind and physical reality are actually one. They're so intertwined that you cannot actually separate the two. When you're looking at this screen, you're not just looking at the screen, you're looking at the screen contextualized by your mind, by your beliefs, by your paradigms. She's onto something. When two people are looking at something, they're never actually looking at the same thing, because one person's perspective is drastically different than another person's perspective. What creates our perspective is a combination of our participation, our conscious participation in reality, meaning your intention when you're interacting with reality to experience it one way or another. And then largely our mind is created and curated by our environment, by the people that raised us, by the information that we had access to and that we consumed while growing up. That can be a little shocking, because that means, yes, a huge part of your personality does not have anything to do with you. It was just kind of just junk that you picked up. That's essentially why so many people are suffering in their lives, is because they're unaware of the fact that most of their personality is just a bunch of junk that they picked up along the way. And that's what you're here for. You're here to sort all of that out and to actually start living the life that you want to be living, not the life that the world kind of nudged you in or pushed you into. Whether you're working a job that you don't really want to be working, or you're in a relationship that you don't really want to be in, the point of this course is to re-grant you your inherent godlike capabilities. Because you are a God form. You are a form of God. Reality is consciousness. Consciousness is God. You are consciousness. And you are here and you're creating your experience, whether you're aware of it or not. So let's get a little bit into belief systems, paradigms. What exactly are they? How do they work? How do they function? How do they play out in your day-to-day life? So a belief is essentially a emotion tied in with a meaning. I mean, it can be kind of interchangeable, but like for the most part, it's an emotion tied in with a meaning, and then there can be some sort of language to it, but the language can be interchangeable. So you can believe I'm not good enough, but you can also believe I'm not good enough as more of a feeling than the actual words I'm not good enough. So you could actually say the words I'm not good enough, and that might not resonate with you as much, but you might actually believe something viscerally with feeling and meaning attached. For example, when somebody shames you or says something bad about you, you might feel this feeling, right? And you might not label it as I'm not good enough, but essentially what that feeling is you're lessening yourself. You're feeling and believing that you are not good enough to exist in light and fulfillment in that moment. And so this is how our beliefs work. They're very elusive. They're oftentimes very hard to spot. And so a lot of people, some people might not even believe that they exist or that they're capable of finding them. I know that early on in this journey, I was not entirely sure if I would ever be able to release beliefs or even what that was. I can promise you that that you will eventually solidify in your understanding of it the more you experiment and the more you explore with an open mind your experience. But essentially, beliefs trap your mind into operating a certain way. Imagine your mind is like a computer. And a computer is, you have computer programs, and in those computer programs, they're programmed to do certain things. right? So if you're playing Minecraft, that there's a program that that when you click run, it will only bring up Minecraft. It's not going to bring up Call of Duty. It's not going to bring up Internet Explorer. It's going to bring up Minecraft every time. You can imagine your mind and your brain and even your neural networks kind of like a computer, and the programming that you put in it, the beliefs, right? Imagine a belief is kind of like a line of code. I'm not good enough. Now you must function as if you were not good enough, and everything that you do will be operating from the space of I'm not good enough. When you try something new, you won't be doing it with full confidence. When somebody talks to you, you will lessen yourself and shrink a little bit. Now everything that you're doing is coming out of this programming of I'm not good enough. And there's many beliefs that we have, and they're all connected. They're all interconnected in this giant web. And there's certain core beliefs that when you release those beliefs, they will naturally disintegrate many other beliefs that are connected to it. And then you can also pick off the low-hanging fruit, which is just like little beliefs that come up throughout the day. I will be teaching you how to actually release limiting beliefs. There's many ways to release limiting beliefs. I will be sharing with you some of the most powerful ways that have worked for me in my life. But let's go back with this example of I'm not good enough. Say you have this belief of I'm not good enough, and your entire life you've been holding back. You've been shrinking yourself down. You've been afraid to try things. You've been essentially not allowing yourself to be how you want to be. And now you might be having this realization moment of, oh wow, this entire time I believed that I'm not good enough, but that might feel so true that you can't even believe that you could be good enough, right? And I know I felt that for a long time. It's like, okay, I'm aware that I feel like I'm not good enough, but how can I actually feel good enough? There's many ways that you can release beliefs. There's degrees to releasing a belief, right? So the belief I'm not good enough might start to come up less in certain areas in your life, but then it could still come up in other areas of your life. For example, relationships. You might start to feel really good enough in relationships, but in business, you might still not feel good enough, right? So you can release it in certain areas in your life, but in other areas it can be a little bit more sticky. So when you look around the world, what you're looking at is you're looking at a world shaped by beliefs and paradigms. You know, a lot of people have many beliefs that are built from their culture, and that's why cultures are cultures. That's why they exist, and that's why they evolve, because our minds evolve and morph over time, and so cultures evolve and morph over time, because it's all belief. It's all belief systems. The world runs off of belief. Now, the beautiful thing is when you realize this, then you can start to put the proper beliefs in your head. You can start to choose to believe the right things, the things that you know deep down are right for you. If you know that being good enough is right for you, then you actually get to choose to believe that you're good enough. And then your life will change and shift accordingly. And this is one of the biggest things that people miss when they're trying to move topsoil. I guess you could say move topsoil in their life. They're trying to fix the surface issues in their life without realizing that there's a much deeper core issue to be addressed, and that core issue is a belief more times than not. And so that's why in this course I'm doing the bottom up approach. I'm trying to solve your problems from the root, and if we can attack the root and resolve the root and heal the root, then everything else that we're going to be trying to do and we're going to be learning in this course, all the practical things, will be much easier. There will be a lot less resistance, and I'm going to have a whole lesson on resistance, because resistance is what is created by these beliefs that go against your true nature, because your true nature is creativity, it's love, it's happiness, it's joy, it's bliss, it's freedom of expression, right? And any time that you are not living that truth, means you're living out a false belief, which is not who you truly are, not who you truly desire to be. And then what that creates is resistance, which creates suffering, which is why you're so uncomfortable in your experience, is because you're not living your truth. Like I said, this course is going to be helping you to live your truth. So that's a little mini masterclass on beliefs, and I will see you in the next module.